Hey, welcome. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being back with me again. So this week we've been talking about persuasion and negotiation and just different tactics and influence and those sort of things. And I've had some great feedback. So I'm going to continue on those topics for a while. Yesterday, at the end of our conversation, I was talking about different things and I said, I'm going to use the law of scarcity on you. And I told you about some coaching packages that I'm putting together for the end of 2020. And what they are is some of my regular packages, but just to help some people get through 2020 great, I am going to just price them extremely competitive and very low. But because of that, I'm not opening it up that anyone that wants to sign up. I'm only doing a certain number of them. And so that is a good explanation of the law of scarcity. It's a great deal, but there's only a small limited number available. And you know, it works. I was contacted by some people and I've only got a few of those spots left. So that's what I want to talk about today, is the law of scarcity. Because again, it can be used ethically or unethically. So please use these things ethically. The law of scarcity, if you're the one using it, you know, don't say you've only got a certain number of things available when you really have unlimited, but be ethical about it. When you're on the consumer side, it is an opportunity to take advantage of something. If you, for example, the coaching, if you were already thinking of getting into a coaching program, it's a great deal to hurry and jump on it because you're getting it at a lot better price, or whatever the case may be, or it might not be available ever again. So you're getting something that's not going to be available. So the idea of a potential loss or missing out on something really has an impact on people's decision-making ability. And you know, as opportunities become less available, people hate losing out on things. And so that's when people make emotional decisions, and sometimes it's not the best decisions. But, you know, I want to read a quote from Robert Cialdini from his book, Influence. He says, "Whenever free choice is limited or threatened, the need to retain our freedoms make us desire them significantly more than previously. So when increasing scarcity interferes with our prior access to some item, we will react against the interference by wanting and trying to possess that item more than before." So think of it that way, that as things become less available, they become more valuable, because if you want them and you realize that you're going to lose out or you're going to miss out, it becomes more valuable to you. But as I said, it also can become emotional. That's why it's important on the consumer side to know where your limits are. What is your walk away point? What is the limit of how far you will go? Because if you're acting emotionally, you might say, I've got to have it, so you'll spend anything or do whatever you have to get it, where after the fact you might be regretful of it. Now the other part of it is when you've got scarcity combined with competition, things even become more intense. And I was trying to think of a situation where I could explain this, and I can put myself right in the middle of it. So when I was in high school, I've told you in previous episodes, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. When I was in high school, my favorite pair of Air Jordans that I ever wore in basketball were the Jordan 4 Breads. And I've always wanted another pair of those. Well, last year, they were getting released again. And if you know how it works when new shoes like that get released, there's a limited number, so they're scarce. And they come on at a certain time of the day, and you've got to be online trying to buy them. And so there's a lot of competition. And if you're not using a computer bot or something, it's difficult to get them a lot of the times. In fact, last weekend, my son and I were trying to get some Kobe's, and we didn't get them. But so you put that all into perspective. They're scarce, there's competition, we want them bad. And so what were we doing? The morning those Air Jordan 4s were released, I think we had 5 or 6 computers going in our house, and fortunately we were able to do well. We ended up, everyone in my house owns a pair of Air Jordan 4 Breads now. But with the scarcity and the competition, it gets pretty intense. And so think of that from a provider's standpoint. What can you do to increase competition, increase scarcity, to increase the value and demand of your products? And then on the consumer side, what can you do to make sure that you recognize your emotional limits So you can say, this is my walk away point. This is how I'm going to make decisions, and not let the emotions take over. But hopefully these tips are helpful for you. If nothing else, you can recognize them when you're in the middle of the situations, or you can use them ethically when you're doing things yourself. One other thing I just want to talk about before I sign off. I've talked so much about mindset questions, and if you haven't done it yet, go to jeffheggie.com/mindset and read all about my mindset questions and stuff. And I've even had an episode that I talked about my mindset journal that I was using. It's finally available. It's in a PDF. It's not a hard copy. You can get a PDF version, so you can reuse it as much as you want. But if you'd like to check it out, go to mindsetjournal.jeffheggie.com and you'll be able to see that. It's a great tool. It goes through all the mindset questions. It goes through all the goal setting, clarity tool, 101 goals, figuring out your why, all those things. And it's got all the journaling things I've talked about. It's really an intense thing. And, like I said, if you want to be successful, you've got to be dedicated to doing some things. And it does take some dedication. But once you get into it, it doesn't take a lot of time every day. But it's the small, simple habits that will bring you success. It's, like I said in previous episodes, it's the simple things that are easy to do are easy not to do as well. But these are things that will help you find success in your life. So mindsetjournal.jeffheggie.com. Check that out and let me know how things are going. Please share this if this is helpful for you. If you're on Apple, please rate and review, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.